Hola. Hola, everyone who has come out. Looks like Mud Nuts Crazy Crafting. I know it's been a while since I've gone live on a Wednesday. So I thank you all. Hopefully, we can get back into the thick of things. If you guys were able to tune in to me and Lizzie's show Saturday morning, our morning live show, we kind of went over what we had been up to and how crazy the summer had been. And we reinforced what occurred, how come it had been a while. So we're back. Yes, we are. It's fall. School's back in. Football is about to start. Who are you guys going for? Um, I am I am live on my iPad. Um, I'm technically challenged, so I'm worried about um tilting and things like that. If I tilt it, would that do something? So we'll see how this works out. Maybe just before um maybe just before I end this live, I will try and tilt it um so that you can get all the shoulders and everything. So, how is everybody doing? Hopefully, you guys, if you did catch it, you'll know that we went over. Lizzie gave me a show assignment, and it was similar to some of the stuff I'd already tried to do. I remember telling her, let's have segments. Let's do, what's your weather section? What's in your cart? I think you guys know we've done the what's in your cart a lot. Some other things that we were trying to do. There's my Lizzie. I'm talking about you. Your ears must be burning. Um, and so some other things that I wanted to do was wanted to do a sort of like a shop your stash type of segment where we come up with the names, some clues, everything but the artist. And um I couldn't decide if we were going to name the diamond painting company that the canvas came from and have everybody just get excited about reacquainting with their hey Kerwin, hello. Get everybody excited about reacquainting themselves with their stash. What's in your stash? Oh, I forgot I had this, things like that. Talking bad about me behind my back. Well, I actually said all of this to you Saturday morning on the I'm just reinforcing it. I have to come up with something new for it to be considered talking bad about you. So so that's something that I still want to try and kind of hone in on. My sister Rebecca had at one point said that she'll like to run that segment with me. It's been a while since me and her worked together. I think it's been about 5 years. So, Melinda, mwah, mwah, mwah. Look at all the family coming back in to see me. How's everybody doing? Um, so yeah, just again, we kind of went over everything. I just wanted to kind of rehash some of the segments because it may even be a better idea for me time wise instead of trying to get it all in on the live. You may see me go live and then do like my news reporter thing. One of the other things that I am still trying to decide on, and you guys can help me, vote, is I'm trying to decide on whether I want to start to open some of the items in my stash. Um, Now I'll tell you the reason why. The other day, you guys know I am in the process of, I don't know if you can see, but I'm in the process of trying to configure my craft room. So, because I'm trying to configure craft room, I do have a portfolio, and the portfolio is the big one. Like it's like 5 feet long by 4.5 feet tall. It's really big, and it can probably hold. unrolled and flat, it could probably hold two, 300. Now they are heavy. I have, I think, 150 in there. Tammy McCrest, how are you? It's been a whole summer. Um, they probably could hold, I would say, easily three or 400, like, canvases rolled out flat. Um, and so the thought process behind it is, one, what is the box worth? When I go online, I see people destashing, and they've opened the kits, they've touched the kits, they sell them for just as much as these sealed kits that have never been opened. So I don't touch my kits when I get them in. I kind of just stare at the photo. I'm like, oh, you did a good job. You did a good job. You got that. You wanted it. It was in your cart. You got it. Good job. Good, 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 good. So that's what you normally see me do. It's still sealed and everything like that. Now, in trying to decide whether or not I was going to move my canvases in here into my craft room, I noticed that just age has impacted the seal on some of the boxes. Like if they're not put up, I guess, like, because some of mine are, I have probably about 50 to 100 that are 3 row deep, um behind my sofa, and then the sofa pushes back over it. So I guess maybe over time it kind of rubs away, and I've noticed that the seal has loosened up on some of those, especially the ones directly against the wall. So when I saw it, I was disappointed because I was trying to look at it like, which ones do I want to put deep, deep in my closet? Which ones will remain out here? And then, obviously the ones where the integrity of the seal has already been broken, those will probably have to be opened all the way up and put into the portfolio. Now, I got those drawers that you can get from Walmart. They look like plastic woven, and I put my diamonds in there. So maybe that's another task that I have at hand if I am going to open it. Like, where do you store your drills? So the saga continues, but I would love, suggestions from you guys. Again, it's just in the works. I haven't started opening anything. But it's definitely a question, as we move into the fall. And I know a lot of people, they do spring cleaning and then they do fall cleaning because they're getting ready for the holidays. So Halloween, obviously we start off with the autumn, season and things. We move into Halloween. And then we put up either, we continue with the fall decorations and then put up Christmas decorations. I know you guys know that I feel that Thanksgiving is one of the most disrespected holidays. We very rarely go from Halloween into a Thanksgiving only celebration. It usually is about Black Friday and Christmas. um, Melinda says, I would love ideas for finished canvases right now. Mine are laying flat on a piece of poster board under a bed. That is something that I think we kind of touched on a little bit. So Lizzie was saying that my wall, since this is a craft room, my walls are bare. And she said that I should put up some of the completed canvases. If you guys can see, that's the butterfly canvas right there that Lizzie made for me because she loves me. Um, and then I have several others that I am going to, I do a border around mine where I painted with acrylic paint, and I have to show you my Nola by Mandy Manzano. It came out perfect. I did have to put like 3 or 4 coats. I do suggest getting, you want to get like a nylon surface or something that you can paint on that, won't destroy your desktop. As I try and reach for this, so I have a ton of these. I have a ton of these, so, and I use them. They're also good for clay. It just gives me another surface to kind of put my clay down on. I do prefer my glass stands, but And that's just because they're, helping condition while you're pressing against them. Hola, Rhonda, how are you this evening? But that is a good idea. So you probably will see coming up. Again, don't know if I'm gonna, do it on the live or if it'll just become, part of segments. But I do think that's a great idea to kind of show. And then I'll show you how I know that you guys have seen my canvases and they're on actual canvas board. Like my Snow Princess by Hannah Lynn. So you guys see that one in my bedroom. When I would go live, I kept it on a stand, and it is actually stapled to an actual canvas. So, but I've always wanted to take that and finish the edge because you could still see the white edge with the legend around it. So great idea. Those are some things that you can rein in on. Again, the first question that I'm needing help on is to open or not to open. Like I said, I'm moving all of my things into a craft room. This will still be a spare bedroom, so I'm not gonna like put all kind of shelves and things like that. I just wanted a working space to where I could focus back on diamond painting, which is a passion of mine. And if you guys have been to a retreat with me, like last September and then in June, you guys will see me actually diamond painting. So it's not like I don't do it. It's just moving the diamond painting from the desk that I also cross stitched and the desk that I also played with clay at, it just got to be cumbersome. So having separate crafting spaces and areas, this is my daughter's idea. I think she did a great job of saying, you've been a great mom, and you deserve to have an area where, you can kind of, unwind and relax at. And so I really appreciated that she did that. Um, and so what I ended up doing was embracing it. It was hard first to come in here because I got used to doing everything in my room. I have two desk areas. My room is huge, and I have two desk areas in there. One desk area was where I worked at. And then the second desk area, that's the creativity station that you guys used to see me go live from. And then obviously I had my bed, and then I did have a walk-in closet. You guys never saw that 'cause it was off to the side. But I did everything in that same space. So one of the first things that I did when my daughter created this room was to try to come in here more. And that ended up being a big task. Like I would come in here, but then I would feel uncomfortable. Like I could be doing this, I could be doing that. And so I would leave back out. So I did have to like adjust how I wanted to craft, when I wanted to craft. And I also had to remove a lot of guilt. There was some guilt that I was inherently feeling because I wasn't crafting maybe the way others think I should craft. I do hear a lot about, oh, you have such a large stash, and you're not doing anything with it. All those diamond paintings that you buy, why aren't you diamond painting? I heard a lot of that. And I think over time, kind of got into my head and I felt, bad and things. Tia Diamond paints between reading subtitles of Asian drama shows. um, that addiction has not gone anywhere, Rhonda. I'm just saying. So, um, I did find a production company from China, and they are dedicated. When I say dedicated, they are making sure to do dubs, English dubs and things. And the reason why that's important is because I don't have to read subtitles. So when I'm not reading subtitles, I am free to kind of look down and just kind of hear the words, the way you guys watch TV. You do you, Tia. Oh, thank you, Gail. And ignoring Liz at the same time. What just Pooh? What did Lizzie? Let me go back and you haven't said anything in a while. Oh, talking. I got that comment already. Did you have another one that I'm not seeing? Um, well, just finished the glory. You watched that? Oh my God, Rhonda. You watched it. Um, my boy, my boy was crazy about this girl, wasn't he, Rhonda? He was like, I'll kill him for you. I love that series. I really do. If you guys get a chance to watch, it is an Asian series. It's on Netflix. It's called The Glory. And I believe it's English dubbed. So you won't have to read a lot of subtitles. Um, the series was amazing. So I went from watching series like that, Rhonda, to trying to watch Hallmark. And it wasn't holding my attention. Okay, I thought so. So it's English dub. Tia has diamond minis, which is considered one diamond painting. I love you, Tammy. So that was how like I started to find my mojo. I started back on the tiny little ones. You bad influence. Uh, the glory was amazing. I loved it. I couldn't wait for more. That really kind of Ginger, look at you. You watching Ray Donovan. That is a great series, Don. I love Ray Donovan. We all love you just the way you are. Do what pleases you because you are the one living your life. You keep rocking. Oh, thank you so much, Ginger. I appreciate that. So I'm definitely, in a better space. Today's September 3rd. And if you guys have been following some of my updates, June 5th, I think March 24th, June 5th, September 3rd, those were all return to work dates. Waiting on my therapist and my psychiatrist, my medical doctor, to kind of come up with a plan and work with my HR for me to return. And I'd already touched on it Saturday, where I told you guys it wasn't looking positive because I would have known I got to be back to work today by Saturday. It's not looking positive at this point. I'm probably going to go ahead and take the early retirement package that my job was offering and kind of take this time to look into something else, not so stressful, because I don't feel like it's worth the impact to my blood pressure and having another mini stroke. I definitely don't want that. So, trying to get into a better space, especially with the medication. They were doing a lot, just trying to get me to go back, and it was too much. Um, I've been all over the place with, I did everything I was told. I got a haircut when they suggest, oh, maybe that'll help you. I got my hair cut. I did everything. I lost the touch and the sensation. I even cut myself at one point. I don't know if you could see. That was a point of a knife. I just didn't even feel it. So when I say I lost touch and feel and sensitivity in my hand, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So and I look down and I'm like, why am I bleeding? So those are some of the things that my husband had a mini stroke a year and a half ago, and it is challenging to find the right balance. I wish you all the luck, and thank you so much. The worst part about it was December 2nd. My birthday is December 3rd. So every year now, obviously, New Year's Day, my brother passed away. And I know that you guys had heard me just really struggling and stressing over him over the last few years. So all of that combined, and my brain just needed some sort of a break. But the good news is I stayed out of going into a facility, and I'm proud of that because they kept trying to send me. And at one point, the doctor was like, "Well, why don't you want to go? At least let them see." They wanted to analyze like my sleep. I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, and I was all over the place, with nightmares and stuff. And they said, "Why don't you go?" Just to get the analysis. And I remember saying, mm-mm, I heard once you go in, it's hard to get out. Like you're in there, so nobody believes you when you say, let me out. And the doctor was like, well, just that cognition alone will probably keep you from going in. Um, so definitely, I battled. definitely battled. So I'm here, I'm back, I'm having just a really relaxing time right now, especially where I don't have the stress of work. My baby, she's working. That probably is, relaxing. So I don't have to be like super mom and things like that, and make sure that, I'm helping her become a productive member of society. She is thriving. And my son, you guys already know, my son comes and joins me, and he is a crafter. He probably is the next person that spends the most time in here in the craft room. Um, so so those are all, good positive things. So the next stage really for me is to figure out like the schedule of segments, and that's where I need your help. So at the top of the hour I did ask you guys, we already do this, but what's your weather like? My weather here is kind of crazy. It feels like it's full of humidity. It's been cloudy for the last 3 or 4 days, but it is still teeter tottering into the 100s. What I think is crazy about that is I'm hearing a lot of stress affects physical and mental health. Dawn, you are so right. Although I would have never known that. So, like, when I first had the TIA, which they call a mini stroke, I'm thinking, diet, I'm thinking my weight, things like that. Never would have attributed it to stress, anxiety, anything from the job. So I definitely think, you know, that crafting, this was always a recommendation. Like every therapy session, that was something that was fully always recommended. I think you should learn how to do a craft. Have you thought about taking up crafting? I want to tell them that, I have a YouTube channel where we diamond paint, and I'm a part of this wonderful community. I didn't want to tell them all of that because I was getting paid to craft. So I appreciate the diagnosis and all the suggestions that helped out. It's still warm where Tammy is. She's in Colorado. Cool and nice. It's been in the 70s for the past few days. Lizzie says it's 64 and overcast there. That's crazy. So I'm hearing that it's been in the 50s and 60s, like in Connecticut, Massachusetts. I think it's crazy for this is September 3rd, but I've been hearing that. Thank you, Ginger. I've been hearing that, it's been cool for the last week and a half or so on the East Coast. So I think that you guys are going to have an early winter. It's probably going to snow in October. I'm just saying. It's still summer in Texas. It's definitely still summer here. And Lizzie says it's going to rain tonight. Oh my, I think your days in the pool are almost over. I think you should have gotten a pool warmer. That would have been a great investment. What you gonna do in October if you have a nice week of 80s, let's say 80s. That's not unheard of. You could be enjoying the pool with a pool warmer, but no, you didn't get it. Gail says it's been in the 70s here and getting down. Ooh, that's cold. That's cold in the 50s at night. Right, Melinda? I'm in East Texas. Our weather is bipolar. I'm in Jersey. No snow in October. Well, we hope that you don't get any snow in October. It's I think they said in May we had temperatures over 100 for more than a week consecutive, and they said that that was the earliest in the season in a long time that we had entered the 100s consistently. So because our weather started earlier, our hot weather started earlier, I'm guessing that may be the same for other people. So we probably will have an early fall. We will stay tuned. My dad says I'm in Maryland. It's been some cool days and nights. I think we're going to have an early fall and a cold winter. Uh, yes, Ginger, I never rotate my closet because all seasons happen any moment. There you go. There you go. My husband is from East Texas. Well, Texas is, weather-wise, I always think that Texas is on a scale on its own. Texas has humidity. It's hot, hot there. It could be 90 degrees and it feel like it's 150. Texas is, it's just, out there on a plane by itself. So next up, I have not figured out how to do that on here. We used to do the what's in your cart. We kind of talked about it, what's in your cart the other day. I showed you guys what was in. I only had two carts. I had a Dreamer Design cart, and I also had a Capture by Radiance cart. And so wanted to pay an homage to, where do you guys shop? Obviously, we got the hitters, Dreamer, we got Capture by Radiance, we have Diamond Art Club. Where are you guys shopping when you buy diamond paintings? None of this, I'm on a no buy, when you buy. Where are you shopping? Are we doing Amazon? And what do you feel the quality's like? I bought a couple of Amazon paintings. Yes, I'm still buying. Um, and so I wanted to kind of show them off. Because I don't do unboxings, consider this an unboxing. Um, First things first, let me see if I can show you guys. Okay. This is like a dream catcher. I'm just trying to get it close as possible. So I don't know if you can see it. It's a dream catcher. And this is how it came. In a Walmart. I mean, not a Walmart. Ooh, I've been shot too much in Walmart. Um, on a no buy, so nothing in my cart. Zippers, zero, zilch. I have won so many canvases. You haven't bought in over a year. Okay. Um, that's because you're very supportive, though. All right, so not bad. See if you guys can see this. Try to do it so there's no. Oh wait, that's not the dream catcher. What happened to the dream catcher? Oh, that's a cross stitch prop. Sorry about that. This is diamond painting. The dream catcher one. This is a flower. So the dream catcher that I was thinking of, that was a cross stitch project. I bought two diamond paintings and two Amazon cross stitch projects. So what I like about it is it does feel like you remember the old AliExpress Mayan Home Fun canvases, feels like that. It's very tough and rigid, isn't it? What I like is that they now offer poured glue. Poured glue. Ooh, that's real sticky. Okay. That was more sticky than I thought it was going to be. Again, I don't usually do unboxings, so I'm sorry that this is like air quotes and things. Comes with the traditional. Oh, this is great. They don't want you to lose anything. Everything is taped together. You're not losing anything. Alrighty, here we go. The traditional toolkit. Sorry about that. And yes, it comes with a little green bolt, the squishy. It only has one pin. Some of the larger companies, they're giving you more than one pin. The multi-placer is it's a two-placer. Um, we talked about wax Saturday. And if you guys preferred wax, if you guys are using glue dots, since you guys may not have been in this, let's go ahead and talk about what company on Amazon. I will have to look that up. I didn't realize it was a distinction. I just was like, oh, I'm gonna get me an Amazon canvas. It was, let's see, the name on here. It says Judingjujuish. It's made in China. You're not gonna be able to see that because it's flipped, unfortunately. Um, we will have to. I have to look it up. I didn't realize that there was a company. Now I know to look and see if, like it said, Diamond Art Club's page and stuff. But I guess I didn't think it's a round. You guys know I'm not particularly fond of rounds. But because it's a small canvas and I want to kind of, just to get my mojo back in, kind of really focus on some smaller ones. These are bigger than the tiny the tiny ones that Lizzie tried to say didn't qualify. So this is bigger, and it's a 30 by 30. So again, I like the coloring. The colors are muted. They don't look as, the blue that I was looking at in this, I thought it would be more tealish because it looks teal here on the canvas. We'll have to see what we could do about that. But for the most part, I like that it was reasonable. I think I paid $10, 9.97 or something like that for it. Now you guys know this one is says Juding XJL. It's also diamond painted. It doesn't say the name of the company on here. It's made in China, so I want you guys to see while I'm opening this. Again, the second question that I had on deck after we talked about the weather in your area was for those who have large dashes, especially the ones that don't open, like me. I don't open mine. Too open or not too open. And the reason I'm considering that is obviously because I am in the process of just kind of creating a craft room, and I'm thinking about moving some of those canvases into the closet and opening some of the boxes and putting them into a portfolio. So here is, now this is totally me. This is me, Butterfly Fairy Princess. Look at that. I feel, when I seen it, I said, oh, don't mind the shoulders, but that's how I envision me if the shoulders weren't an issue. Look at that. Look how big her wings are. So I seen that and was like, oh, the only thing is the black background, that would probably be, you guys see this green, it's like a jadish, teal-ish turquoise. Um, right, Dawn? So I do think that that's me. Again, this toolkit and everything is taped together. I really like that concept. Standard toolkit, little squishy. Um, we're talking about preference on wax. I see that Mutnut says she likes putty. Um, I've tried them all. I do have the ones, the patty wax. We had to put them in our bra and warm them up. I remember doing all of that. I put them in my bra one time and forgot it was in there. I go to take a shower and that tin can had cut me all up. I'll never forget that. You're still a wax person? I am too. I will use these. I have purchased the purple wax. I think Rhonda, I talked to her once, and she she was telling me that there's a difference between, well, we were at the retreat, right? She was telling me that because I told her I feel there's a difference in the wax. That I do use these, and I use the wax from Dreamer Designs and Diamond Art Club and things like that. But I had bought some purple wax, and I really do like the purple wax. And I think that she was saying that yes, there's a difference. There's a difference in things like that. So if you're a wax person, have you tried the various colors? And is there a distinction for you? So there's yellow, there's the white, there's blue, purple, and then obviously the various pink waxes and things like that. I've used putties. I've used, what's it, the things you got to roll, kind of roll. I've used all the differences and things like that. Um, I like the fragrances, but once you put them in the little pen, you can't smell anything anymore. So I feel like a pervert, like I'm walking around sniffing sniffing the remaining wax and things like that. And I'm looking around. So I look weird. um and here is, now these colors are a really soft mute. Obviously I know they're going for nighttime, but I feel like the color palette is a very soft, muted, like a mauve, taupe, soft tones, earth tones. I really don't see a lot of 310s, even though that background. So that background is probably going to be more grayish. Yeah. And I'll show you the picture one more time. Alrighty. So again, these were my, what's in your cart purchases. I did also purchase, I didn't bring them in here. Well, maybe let me see. I did also purchase a cross stitch project. One moment, let me see if I can get it. This is one of the cross stitch. No, I bought 3 cross stitch projects. I'm looking at smaller because you guys know I have gone big. So when you buy the cross stitch project, it does come with everything. And I'll show you why this was a must have for me. I thought these were really cute, quick cross stitch projects. They're bookmarks. And yes, they're stamped. And you just follow the legend. So I got these. I thought they were cute. And I feel like it's something that my daughter will be able to loan in her classroom, when the kids are even used as prizes to give away. Put I did buy some metallic floss. I love metallic floss. And what I wanted to do is enhance the borders so that they kind of sparkle and stand out. These are bookmarks and they're stamped cross stitch projects. So also in the kit, just so you're aware, and this was $6.97, so $6.97. Also in the kit, I thought that was neat. For $6.97, you get scissors for your floss. I don't know how many there are in here, but it looks like there are probably about 7 to 10. So you get the needles. This purple thing, that's a needle threader. So just kind of put it in the hole of the actual needle. Put the floss in, and then when you pull it, you're pulling the floss through. Here is the felt. So it comes with 6 of these. The felt that you can put behind the bookmark to hide, all the floss and stuff. So it makes it really thick. But it's adhesive on one side and it's just a felt flocking. I don't know if you can see how flocked it is. It's showing you the texture. And then you get the legend and instructions. So that's what I like about it. Here's the legend. You see the floss colors. And then, and this is great for beginners, here's the sample stitches. Now, I do a segment with Rochelle for stitching, and this would be something I think is great for anybody that's new to cross stitch. So you have the legend right here, what each color is, you already know. And the beautiful thing about it is when you get to the metallic thread, like where you see these flowers and things like that, you guys know how I'm always talking about blinging up diamond paintings, making water look wet, adding enhancements so that lights actually, kind of flourish, using metallics and crystals to give depth. And what I mean by that is, you remember the Wonder Woman belt. Um, I think Honey Bunny did a great job when she was working on the belt of being able to make the belt look like it was placed on top of the diamond painting. So it gave it like a dimension, like a 3D or 4D depth to it. And so that comes from, mixing the right diamonds and the right drills and stuff. So I think metallics like onyx, hematite, those do a great job of helping you with depth. And the same thing can be done with not only do you can you add metallic floss, but you can do beading also to give your diamond paint, I mean your cross stitch projects just some more depth and things like that. And the centers, you can see right there the centers of the bouquet of flowers coming down. Um, those would look nice with some sort of embellishment, a bead, blinged out bead or crystal added to it. So those are some of the things that you see me trying to work on. I do have a floss box. So what I usually do when I get these, I just kind of put them away. So I have a floss box already where these would just add to the colors. And that way I always have a working amount of floss ready to go. So that's been my purchases. Again, I do have two other cross stitch projects, but since this is my diamond painting segment and not a floss tube, I just real quickly wanted to kind of go over what I've been up to and things like that. So that's it. What's in your cart? The last time I, purchased everything in my cart, that was the March, I think, and that was through Dreamer Designs. And I had showed you guys I had bought a lot. I think I had 8 canvases or something at that point. Um, yeah. And yes, I know I'm just adding to my stash and things like that, but it makes me happy. And I don't look at it like I'm adding to my stash. I look at it as if I am purchasing pieces that I can display in my own personal art gallery. How about that? And it makes me happy, makes me smile. So, what do you guys do? Do you have, besides diamond painting, do you guys have guilty pleasures? I'm pretty sure we all do. So, guilty pleasures that you guys just, for lack of restraint, you guys cannot, hold back on. I feel like everybody should be able to just shoot for those stars. Metallic pearls, yes. Please click a thumbs up for our wonderful host. Yay! Click your thumbs up for me. I appreciate that. Did you guys notice? I sure did. I want to make sure that I get a shout out for this. But did you guys notice that she was on time with no technical difficulties tonight? Let's go ahead and give your host a wonderful applause. Yay! Because that was hard. I sat down, so I got out the shower and I was like, oh, I was going to, do a little bit more with my hair, but I'm like, they love me. They love me for me. So I'm gonna just, real quickly jump down. I put some mousse on. That's all I did was mousse it up. And I did a little shake, and then I said, let me put my headband on. The, the headband, keep it out my eyes. So there we go. Thank you, Gail. And I think when it started, yeah, when it started, if I'm not mistaken, it was still the actual time that it was supposed to be. Good job, good job. Now don't hold me to that for the next time. You know, baby steps. Baby steps, all I can say. Um, so we definitely have that. We talked about our stash and we talked about, you know, um, embellishments and things. Next thing I wanted to ask you guys, one day at a time. I'm doing that one day at a time. The next thing that I wanted to, oh man, I just had a brain fart and lost it. It'll come back to me. It may not come back during the show, but if it do come back to me tonight, I will write it down and remember to bring it back. I think there was too much entering at one time. You did what my granny called. Hold on one second. Where is my mouse? I lost my mouse pointer. Okay, here it is. You did what my granny called a spit shine. Yeah, that's right, a spit shine. Added some mousse. Done. um, so let's see. I'm still trying. A couple seconds. It's not gonna let me share any sites. That sucks. How do you do that? We need this app updated. So obviously, that was one of the reasons why I kept trying to push the envelope and come in on my laptop. We just have the ability to do so much more when you come in on a laptop. Um, so let's see. Let's see. About to show you guys a picture. I'll probably go off, come back, and through an accident, not sure what occurred, but me and Lizzie are both working on the same canvas. When I say working, it's unboxed, it's out, and it's kitted up. It is still in my old craft room and stuff, so it hasn't been moved in here yet. Which means I'm still maneuvering and moving stuff around while I try and get to it. I don't have any set date or anything in mind, but I did want to at least show you guys. So I'm going to go off the camera, and you guys seen this. This was the Blinging in the New Year canvas by Cat Fedora. They are doing a starting on the 1st. There's a Cat Fedora paint along, and so I wanted to just show you. That's why Lizzie started doing it. I had literally just started, touching it because it's a great painting, and I wanted to be able to put more drills down. So I'll be right back. I want you guys to kind of check it out. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you guys that there was no big fanfare or anything like that. But I did want to show it to you. Um, can't do anything. This sucks. Alrighty. Now, Lizzie said we had some sounds and things. Maybe, maybe she went ahead and upgraded a whole lot more than me. I don't see the preset sounds and gadgets and things like that. But if you guys tuned in, you did hear her having some fun. The fun that she was having was definitely us. And she said she was able to add like sound effects and things like that. So I am on my iPad, but I don't have the ability to do all of that yet. That's gonna be practicing. I don't even know if I could do the heart. Yeah, it doesn't work when I do it. Got a message coming up. Okay, well, something is trying to happen. It says I have to turn on reactions to express myself with hand gestures during the video. Go to control, tap video effects, and then reactions. Alrighty, so there you have it. Eventually, I will be able to do some things. What am I doing wrong? I might start a new channel sometime next year. It will be a cooking channel. Will you definitely let us know, Ginger? We will be there. I know I will. These shoulders love to get filled up. uh, so, so I'll be there getting all the new recipes and things like that. Filling up my shoulders. Let's see. Other than that, I want to know when it comes to starting a new canvas, some time has passed. A lot of us have been diamond painting for a while. What is your kit up process? Look at Phyllis! Hi, Phyllis! What is up, honey? What is your kit up process? Are we still using Harbor Freight? I know that there are, like Lizzie, she showed on her channel these I guess they're trays, but they're also storage containers all in one. And ever since she showed those, I really want them. They're 60. It does come with a box that you can kind of hang on the wall in front of your desk. I really do want those, but it's $60 for 60. And you guys know Harbor Freight is like $4.98. For every tray bricks. So she used the tray bricks and she does. I think she got some by Katir. She showed on her channel, and I really like the concept of putting the diamonds in there, leaving them, and everything like all in one. Resting. I'm getting over a 5 day stay in the hospital. Came home Monday. Feeling so much better. Now you know, Phyllis, we work in the same industry. And on top of us working in the same industry, December 2nd last year, I had a mini stroke, and they did determine that it was stress and anxiety. I definitely don't think it was diamond painting that caused that stress and anxiety. So, love you. Make sure you're taking care of you. Um, Lizzie says, I have all the trays. Yes, you do. You have all the trays. And I really like the tray where, you can shake it, you put the lid down, you can diamond paint, you can, slide them all in at once, and then you put that color away and move on. Like I said, on Amazon, I'm gonna try and get the tray, but on Amazon, that tray sells for $60. Um, and the only problem that I have with that is it's $60. Um, so that's hard. That's hard when I remember spending. I remember spending like I ordered probably 7 or 8 Harbor Freight containers once and had them shipped. And all right, here we go. Sorry for talking and searching at the same time, but yeah, I'm trying to find ones that I'm talking about. And here they go. Forever Young. I think somebody else said Rhonda. So these are the Forever Young. They do come in. This is the one thing that I like. I'm going to show you guys because I can't share my screen. I hate that. But they do come in gift box pack. Oh, I'm sorry, the camera over here. Gift box packaging. This is crazy that the camera is backwards. Here's what it looks like inside the box. Um, you do get the DMC color chart, which I like. That is what they look like. I really like these a lot. I really do. I'm shocked I don't already have them. I really am. Lizzie beat me to the punch. And then that's the concept that I like, where they just stay in there. You put the number on them, they stay in there, you shake it, put them away. And now that we've already seen those and done those, how many of us have towers where you slide them in and things like that? Um, I don't know, probably because they're plastic. The concept of them just kind of stayed with me a little bit more, and I like it a lot. So going back to um, Melinda says, I have a hodgepodge of ways. Some are in the little screw on plastic jars. Sometimes I'll get up straight into the trays when I have enough. If the drills come pre-bagged, I just work out. I do, that's probably my favorite, is the pre-bagged. And those boxes, those ones that you see Tima decorating a lot of times, sit them down in there, boom, be done. I do prefer those. But if they're not coming pre-bagged and you still got to cut and open them and stuff, a system where I don't have to do too much that holds a lot would probably be preferred. Rhonda wants to know, Lizzie, which of all the trays, which ones do you prefer? Well, let me say, and I did splurge and get to Elizabeth Ward's from Amazon. I've always wondered about getting those also. Art Dot has the trays, but still not cheap. Okay, I'm gonna have to check with Art Dot. I believe Rebecca has a discount. So I have to check with her and see if she's still an affiliate with them. Phyllis says this wasn't. It was extreme swelling, abscess developed. So they ran tests to rule stuff out, and monitored me. Two different types of IV antibiotics running almost continuously, but infectious disease. Um, Doc doesn't think it was an infection after all. My job changed effective 9/1, so it's all good. Good. That's very, very good. Very good to hear, Phyllis. So I did indicate Saturday, as well as at the top of the show, some changes and just some realities that I had to face because of the stress behind our job as well. So kudos to you for the job change. Hopefully, you're on a journey back to, health and healing. Okay. Lizzie says, Rhonda, you'll have to watch my video of which one I like the best when I film it, that is. Oh, so she hasn't filmed it. Well, give us a hint. Um, Melinda says, I also use the trays that come with the Diamond Art Club kits, and I put them in one of the smaller kit boxes as a holder for them. Um, so at the retreat, someone kind of gave away all of those trays, and I brought them home. And so I like how thick and sturdy they are. Again, I don't open mine, so I had no idea the trays had even changed. But I do think that the tray change is a good one. So I will be trying to come up with a system for those trays also, and I'm excited about it. Um, Lizzie says just buy it. Um, yeah, probably should just buy it. We'll see. It's a lot, and I could think of other things. So I probably would want two sets. And then on top of wanting two sets, because a lot of these diamond paintings nowadays, like this one right here, um, this is a great diamond painting, the one that I showed you guys. But one of the reasons that I caught it is because I remember thinking that's an awful lot of diamonds for this little painting. It had, okay, so I guess I'll have to look it up, but I believe that it had like, where did they don't show it on the box. They don't show it on the box or anything like that, but I believe it has like 10 drills or something. Um, Let me just look it up and that'll help. Uh, I'm just gonna look it up so I can show you. But it had a lot, I mean, a lot of diamond and special diamonds and things like that. And so I felt like, oh, wow. Um, Hold on one second. And what I'm doing right now is just going to real quickly pull it up so I can know exactly how many instead of guessing how many. But this was a part of that purchase that I made in March where I bought my shopping cart. So this one is called Ocean Spirit. And she reminds me of my aunt, my mom's sister. My grandmother on my mom's side is Native American. Um, and here we go. 69 colors, 9 ABs, and 7 crystal drills. That's a lot. That's a lot of special drills. And that was one of the reasons why I bought her, because I felt like, ooh, this one's going to be gorgeous when she is completed. But 69 colors. So even buying the 60, I would still need more. And then also for the special drills and things like that. So 2 of them would be needed. And that's 120 bucks. Now we're getting into the realm of that's ridiculous. That's 3 Harbor Freights, $15. It's, it's probably more than that, but I'm just, saying the price difference is huge. So Phyllis said, "Yep, I gotta lose weight. That's a given. More walking, aka movement, Lasix, etc. I've lost 7 pounds in the hospital." Um, Yep, I had that same discussion. I definitely understand. Um, my vitals, everything looked really well. They really just wanted to get rid of the ulcers. They wanted to get rid of the headaches. I had started developing really bad headaches. Obviously, the ulcers was causing gastric issues and things like that. Anytime you have ulcers, you definitely should know that that's stress. The only other thing that maybe would cause it is medication. I wasn't on any, and excessive amounts of spicy food, which I wasn't on. I don't eat a lot of spicy foods. So, Phyllis says, I use the little small mini square storage boxes. Okay. I do have quite a few of those. I use those for when I'm traveling so that I make it easier to be able to, if I need to kit up, I usually keep canvases. Like I may put them in my little, I do have a carry-on that I use when I'm traveling for retreats and things. And I usually will maybe in, like if I'm not actually going to the September, but let's say if I was going to the September retreat, I would probably have packed that bag in July and started putting whatever craft I want to, consider there. And what I normally do is just put a couple empty storage containers. That way, when I get there, I'll do everything and I'm not, last minute scurrying about like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I, so. I could sell Velveeta boxes, wrap those suckers up with decorative paper. Tima has something similar like that. I've done that too. I stole the idea from Yep, Tima. She showed how she blinged out like some of those Velveeta type boxes for the diamond drills that already come pre-bagged. So I know some of you may relate. I bought Velveeta cheese, which I don't eat, just so I have Melinda. uh, it's been a while, but I used to like to put Velveeta in my homemade baked macaroni and cheese because of how it's spread and things. Gail says I got the idea from Tima also. Yeah, so Tima. You guys know that's one of my sisters also. So yeah, I definitely will steal her ideas as much as I can. So there we go. We kind of talked about, our kit up process. Um, I used to schedule my diamond paintings and I think getting away from that, um, yeah, I had so many stuff, so many that was queuing up, and there might be a change in something or a new collab may come along that would deter me. And I do have, I think I have 40 altogether Harbor Freight storage containers, and I have probably 10 diamond paintings already kitted up that I've never gotten to, and they're still the drills are still inside the Harbor Freight containers. Um, I definitely think, that was a bit much, but that was back in the height of the addiction where, you just couldn't wait. I mean, I used to spend hours. I used to have to log into work by 7. I'd be up at 5. My mom used to cook. So I'd be up at 5 diamond painting. I had to go into, my room at like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before logging in. On my lunch break, which is an hour, I would be out diamond painting. Then when I got off, which would be at 4, I'm in my chairs 4:15, and I'm diamond painting until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I used to go shower, come back, and still try and diamond paint till I got sleepy and things. So that used to be the life and things. I understand how, I don't want to call it burnout because I don't think that I received burnout. I think it was like, it felt like another job. It just felt like, well, I got this queued up. I got to go do this. It felt like, so I want to make sure that we focus on the fun behind diamond painting because that's why you see, therapists and psychiatrists, that's why they recommend crafting and things like that, to get back, to the fun of it, to use it to take our mind away from, things that stress us, reality and things like that. We can escape. That's why we enjoy some of those ooh ah, fairy tale, butterfly princess canvases, because they take us away from our reality, and they allow us, to just get back to a time where we're just focused on the innocence of, life and our choices and our decisions. Diamond paint. This When I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I love that feeling. And so I didn't want it to be a chore. I think I'm getting back into, it not really being one, and having fun. Um, having fun, just kind of seeing what I'm going to do and things. Again, the last thing that we had talked about that I wanted you guys to rein in on, we talked about stashes and the fact that I don't open my diamond paintings. So, because I don't usually open my diamond paintings, I did pose a question to you guys, which is, to open or not to open. Do you guys have stashes? And in your stash, have you already opened your canvases? Or, are they not open? Are you guys waiting until you actually get to them to open? Need to run. The boys are home with dinner. Have a good night, everyone. Please remember, you are doing your best with what you have. Oh, so sweet in this moment. You got this. Love you, Rhonda. Thank you so much. So obviously I'll be, cutting out in a few minutes. Just wanted to kind of finish up with the um to open or not to open. That's something definitely that is on my mind. The reason why I showed you guys this is because, if you guys will notice, like right here, this is very loose. And even though it's still the original seal, it's loose. And I have quite a few where they're looser than this, because I just got this in March. And I don't move it. I don't move it. So I don't know if it's, humidity or what. But in my art gallery, is there a better way, to retain those? Again, when I'm looking at the D-stash sites, even though they've been opened, they've been touched, they take the whatever card. I'm hearing that there are players cards and things in some of these. That's crazy to me. Obviously there's the new trays and things. So they're still selling them. They still selling them. They find a box to put them in, and they still selling them for the same price as some of these sealed ones. So I do have the princesses. They are still in the box and sealed. But the funny thing is, I seen a lady who said, I finally come to terms with the fact that I'm probably never going to get to this. So I'm going to go ahead and part with it. It had no box. It wasn't sealed, no toolkit. If there was a card, there was no, what they call a trading card, that came with it. So you're getting the canvas and the diamonds. And then obviously the legend and stuff. One of the stickers, the little sticker that you put on the outside, you know how sometimes you may put it on the outside of the the storage container that you're using. That sticker was gone also. And they put $250, $300 price tags on those. No box or nothing. She still had $250 to $300 price tag on it. So, to open or not to open? Um, Phyllis says, I don't open mine either. I don't, open to see obvious flaws. Okay. I'm cooking while watching. Chicken and dumplings for most of us. Two people are having grilled cheese. That sounds good. Kayleen says, too many people have opened the box to find something totally not what they ordered. Open and check right away. Then you can deal with the issue that you found. That's a good point, Kayleen. I have purchased so many that if there were an issue, that would really suck, especially if I waited another. Some of these I've had since 2019, and it's 2025. um so that's an excellent point that you mentioned right there. And it would be all my own doing. So, that's something that I feel like coming back, I'm going to try to embrace a little bit more is not only connect, because when I went back through them and I'm looking at them, I remember like, oh, I remember when I first seen this and I had to have it. I was reconnecting with why I wanted to have it as part of my collection in the first place. And that's why I do the what's in your cart. Like I love that first ooh ah moment when we're looking at it, we want to buy it, we put it in our cart, and then when you receive it, you're like, oh, I'm so happy. I got it before it discontinued or went away and I got to wait 8 years to get it back. Um, I hate those moments. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that there's been a couple of canvases when I missed them. I cried. And that means it's a must have, and I got to have it in my collection. Um, Melinda says, except I think Diamond Art Club would most likely honor the warranty and send you the drills that were wrong. That's only happened to me one time, and they immediately sent me the correct drills. 8 years. 2018. So what's that? 7. So I meant 7 years. 2018. A lot of us came into the craft and began some 2017. I came in 2018. So now I discovered Diamond Art Club. I started. You guys remember Wish? Is Wish still around? I started shopping on Wish and immediately wished I had a new, company to buy from. So from there, people were like, try AliExpress. So then I started shopping AliExpress. I found Diamond Art Club. Um, it was late 2018. Late 2018. And then early 2019, I said, I want to I want people to watch me indulge in this craft. And so that was when I started to go live. I'd had my channel for a while, but that's when I started to go live and things. So 2018 to 2005, that's 7 years. Tammy says lots of people open and take the pin, the card, and sell outrage. Yep, that's what I started noticing. I had noticed it before, and I'm like, so I'm the only one that's cherishing the box. The box has value. Ooh, ah. They say it's a lifetime warranty. Well, that makes sense also, Melinda. Yes, Wish is still around. Is it? Oh my gosh, Wish is still around. I would have thought that went out of business. My first company was Diamond Express. We owe, Lizzie said we owe. um, my first company was Wish. And then I moved over from there and I did Diamond Art Club. I mean, not Diamond Art Club, AliExpress. And I remember, you guys remember Drillmageddon? That was 2018, going into 2019. So Drillmageddon, we were buying all these canvases, um, and ooh, Huracan from AliExpress. Their diamonds, depending on which their diamonds just weren't the greatest, and their drills were horrible. And so if you bought a canvas, they weren't expensive canvases, but if you bought a canvas with these drills, they were just almost near impossible to work with. And so people were trashing canvases and throwing them away left and right. And that era of time we were calling Drillmageddon. I never heard of Wish. Oh my gosh, you didn't miss anything. I didn't discover them painting until 2021. Uh, so anybody that's been around 2017, 2018, I'm pretty sure you guys remember Drillmageddon, Huracan. Moved over from Huracan. I started buying from Home Fun. I really liked Home Fun. And then I discovered Mayan, Meian, and um, still in what I consider to be the top notch of diamond painting companies that just overseas is Ever Moment. Ever Moment, they had double-sided adhesive, which at the time was just horrible to work with. They were a square only company originally, but they were phenomenal when it came to their diamonds, the shapes. were almost always the same. I very rarely had bad drills from them. Um, and they fit and click together. They really gave you that OCD, ASMR feeling that you guys see everyone doing videos on. The click, the clicking in. Hawaii Dreamer started my diamond painting addiction. Gotta love sisters. Oh, uh, Lizzie, as far as wish you wait 4 months before you get your order. That was how I ended up starting to buy in bulk. So I ordered like two from Wish, and they were taking forever to come in. I'll never forget. I went late in the evening, had to be 7 or 8 o'clock. I went running into, I want to say it was Michael's, and I got a Diamond Dots. It was there, and it happened to be, the cafe at night canvas. It happened to be the cafe at night. I was tired of waiting. I had been waiting and waiting and waiting, and my Wish order still hadn't come in. So I ended up going in. It was a lot more expensive. I'm like, why does it cost way more than the Wish one? Um, And so Diamond Dots, if you guys ever worked on them, they're a great company. There were no complaints. It was a lot of confetti, but there were no complaints. It was a great, experience. And then my Wish canvases came in, and that might have been why Wish almost immediately, like was getting thumbs down, because I started on Diamond Dots and they were already well established and things. I just I didn't like all of their options and their choices and things like that, but I did enjoy the experience. It was a lot of fun. Ginger says, I wish I could afford more Ever Moments. I love them. So Ever Moment was pricey. They cared. They cared about the quality of their drills. They cared packaging. Remember, you would get your Ever Moment, came in a gorgeous purple, like a royal purple, um, and lilac, and it had a ribbon. Oh man, I think Make Market is Diamond Dots. Really? So they changed their name. That might be something to look into. But Ever Moment was, just a great experience. So once I moved on to Ever Moment, I still had a lot of home fun, but I never bought anything more from them. I did also buy from Mayan. Mayan, they were one of the first ones that I saw, like adding a lot of crystals, and not just ABs. They were adding crystal drills and things. Um, Tammy says I did a custom in one of theirs. They were great. So I did, yes, the customs, again, Ever Moment, they just were ahead of their time. And it's unfortunate that, they sell through AliExpress and they're overseas, so they took a lot longer to come in. But once your order came in, I never had any complaints out of any of my Ever Moments. Um, so all in all, as far as Diamond Dots, I probably have about 4 or 5 Diamond Dots. As far as home fun, I probably have 30 to 40 home fun. Huracan, I started off, I probably have about 10 Huracan. Treasure Studio Arts, I probably have about 10 of those. Craftably, 5 or 10 of those. Um, let's see. Dreamer Designs, I probably have 60 to 100, somewhere in there. And then you guys know I definitely have probably going on 250 to 300, somewhere in there, as far as Diamond Art Club. Um, and again, it's for me. For me, it is an art gallery. Star Roar is good as well. Oh, I remember Star Roar. I remember Star Roar when, I don't know if you guys remember my friend Man Bun. We were co-workers and we used to sit right next to each other. So we got really close. He saw me diamond painting and he literally was like, what are you doing? Like, what is that? Oh, and he was hooked. And so from there, the addiction was fed. And I think like he's still really into it, but he does Legos and things like that as well. But he used to love Star Roar. Besides Diamond Art Club, Star Roar was one of his favorites. So I do remember them. Look at that. What was the one company was like AFGBC H Element? Okay, are they still around? How are they doing? Is he the one that did Princess Diana? Total yes, he is. That's Man Bun, and he he used to teach art. So when it comes to blinging and blending and things like that, um he used to teach art and things like that. My mom used to be an artist. She definitely wanted to like have her own art studio and things like that. She used to draw and things. And so one of the things when he first started coming over to diamond paint with us, he got to talking to my mom and things like that. And she was one of the ones that was impactful in him well, I guess lending his methodology is the best way to say it. He lent his methodology to, the bling. Back then, when it came to bling, I started off just, sprinkling in bling. And one of the things I was obsessed with because I prefer landscapes is, dimension. Like, why doesn't this look, you know, it just it didn't some of the canvases they just didn't look like they were in perspective. They didn't look um like they were drawn to scale, in my opinion. And then I also felt like we could do a little bit more. We got all these ABs and stuff. We can do a little bit better a job at making water look wet. And when it comes to, windows and things, we can give movement. Like you could show breeze and things like that when you switch up the medium. So, if you're using ABs, if you're using some crystals and things like that, and you look from left to right, you can get the feeling that there's some breeze. And so that became because my mom was talking about how she shows breeze in curtains and things like that, and how she may be able to show breeze when she's drawing through leaves and things. Um, but how do you convey that when you're trying to bling a picture out and add to it? So she was, really instrumental in his methodology and things. And if you guys ever seen, he had this thick, I called it the bling Bible, to where he, knew these colors kind of flow into one another. And I'm going to use that here. And he used to map it out. He would, uh, piece it out on top of the clear plastic, then take it off, pull it back, and try and, recreate it. It was a lot. Is he the, oh, okay, yeah. So those were the days early on where we just, had a lot of fun and things. What about you? What do you guys remember about your early days diamond painting? And what was your earliest, diamond painting company or purchase or experience? I'm drinking some tea. Um, just no particular reason. It's just yummy. All right, so I've wet my chops and things. Other than that, I just wanted to jump on here, kind of show you guys, what I've been working on, what I've been purchasing, and just kind of get your opinion on those segments. So stick with, I remember my first square. Yeah. Um, I remember going from round, which moved faster for me. I remember rounds really moved fast. And when I went to a square, I remember this is taking forever. But I do also remember preferring squares. I thought the pictures looked more in focus than when I was doing rounds. And so I started to notice that squares you were able to get more detail. And rounds, I think they say there's more facets, so it should be a little bit more sparkly. Cheap Amazon paintings, nothing wrong with that. You just seen I just purchased two and did unboxings. I think that I was shocked at the sticky. I wasn't. I mean, it was really. I thought I'd be able to touch it. It's sticky, but it like stayed on my finger, and I had to literally put some, you know, some effort into pulling my finger away. So that's very sticky. It's poured glue. Can't go wrong with that. I remember thinking when I received some of my AliExpress and I had already started doing poured glue. I remember thinking, this is such a cute painting. Too bad it's double-sided adhesive. So, would you guys go back? Anybody that's moved over and they've done a Dreamer Designs, they've done a Capture by Radiance, would you guys ever go back to your AliExpress double-sided adhesive and complete those? Lizzie, I'm challenging you. I know if you're within the realm and the range of my voice, that you're going to accept this challenge because you always like to throw challenges at me. So I'm challenging you to go and pull out one of these AliExpress double-sided adhesive canvases. I'll let you be the judge of what size you want to do. And I would like to see you work one of the old double-sided adhesive canvases. Um, do a review, an opening, a kit up, and let's see your experience comparing, the modern canvases, which are poured glue. Obviously, heck no, that's being nice. I will if you do. I'm gonna have to maybe think about that, baby. It would be, if nothing else, it would definitely probably give a new appreciation for poured glue, for the felted canvas, because this is very. These is, if nothing else, this is very sturdy. I mean, this is sturdy. It is sturdy. It's not. It's stiff. All you got to do is paint around the outside, and you probably don't even need to staple it to anything, and just hang this up. That's how stiff it is. So that's the one thing I remember. If About the double-sided adhesive, like they definitely weren't, what do we call it, tarpaulin. They weren't tarpaulin at all. Ginger said, I would if I had some. Really? I have an old Ever moment. I have, like, I got quite a few Ever moments. We may have to, but I'm talking, that's not going, I don't know if that would be a difficult experience, Lizzie. Definitely probably wouldn't be more difficult. Do you got any old home funds? That's what I want to know. uh, Melinda said it came pre-dry mounted. It's definitely hard. So it's not the what do they call it, the velvet tarpaulin that the other, like Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Designs. I think they pride themselves on having like a velvet tarpaulin. It's definitely nothing like that. It's a very hard. Art Dot, the 12 diamond paint set. Stiff. So the very first retreat, diamond painting retreat, hosted by Marissa, the Lone Star Retreat. Um, we had a canvas. Um, it was like musical. It's like musical chairs, but we called it musical canvases. So anybody who wanted to participate, you were going around to their station, and you were going to be able to diamond paint on hopefully a canvas that you never got an opportunity to diamond paint on before. And I remember at the end of us all going to these different stations, we talked about the standouts that we enjoyed and we really liked. And the Art Dot canvas, you just could buy like four of them in a box and things like that. Art Dot overwhelmingly like kind of was the winner. Everybody really enjoyed their time. The diamonds were very brilliant and sparkly. um we were shocked about the canvas, everything. So I remember Art Dot kind of winning over, you know, the musical canvases. And kudos to them, because I would have never guessed that their canvases, this is hard to get back into the plastic. I'm going to put this down before I get frustrated and got to go take a pill. So I was really shocked about their canvases. Um, there was a nice feel to the canvas. Their diamonds were very sparkly, so they had a lot of facets on them. Um, they were just the surprise standout. It was very sticky. And I think they had moved over to port glue at that point as well. So they weren't, double-sided adhesive. They are great. Um, they have an animal set now. So there you go. And I'll never forget. And then Nana, Nana of Seven Crafts, she actually bought me a art dot set, and I got to test it out firsthand. So any of you get a chance to shop Art Dot, even though they're not hitters when it comes to the canvases and things like that, they do pride themselves on offering a quality product, and we got to test it firsthand. Um, yeah. So there you have it in a nutshell. Kind of getting you guys a little, I guess, journey back down memory lane where we all started. Wish, whew, wish. I remember a gentleman bought a wardrobe for himself. We were working, and he got it from Wish. And he's not a big guy. I would say he was 5'7", maybe 5'8", and I would say he's might be a medium. And he ended up having, there was another gentleman that worked with us. He was a little guy. He was like 5'4", 5'3", maybe an extra small. And the guy ended up having to give his whole wardrobe to the other guy. He said nothing fit. So yeah, Wish used to have a great model, and then when you got the actual item, you wished you hadn't ordered. But that's about it. That's all I have for today. I thank you all for coming back out as I kick back off the fall. Me and Lizzie went live Saturday, so we'll be off this Saturday unless oh, did y'all see that? We're gonna go ahead and get this put up. She tried to say it because she thought I wouldn't see it. But Lizzie has accepted the challenge. She is going to go ahead and do a double-sided adhesive, one that she got from AliExpress, and then a comparison with one of these new, port glue with the beautiful diamond. We're gonna see how frustrated or not she gets. We're gonna check back in with her now that she has accepted that challenge. Let's see, when is our next show? Um, One moment while I get the calendar up. And we will be live. Looks like that's going to be Saturday, September 13th. So we're going to be checking in with Lizzie to see how she's doing, what canvas she decided to go with, and is there any frustrations? The goal is that she's going to be picking one that was, from her stash and things like that. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Obviously, I go live every Wednesday. This one lasted a little bit longer. When it's just me, I try and go for a little more than an hour sometimes. But I thank you all for coming out, embracing me as I try and get back into, just normalcy and normal everyday life. You guys all have a great rest of your evening, and make sure that you guys come back with what's in your cart, and let me know what's in your stash. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.